everyone, it's Jen again. It's been a while since I've shown my face. As I mentioned in some of my more recent videos, I am struggling with some health issues, so I apologize in advance if there's any strange cutaways, because I have to break away or something from coughing or needing to have something to drink. So I'm gonna try to make it through this video. I'm happy to say that I did release chapter 7 this weekend, as I had planned for my for having to make a slight delay. And I thought this might be a good time for me to pause to reflect some of the ideas that have been going through my head and to just kind of go over some affirmations. So, why do I make these kind of goals for myself? If this is something that I do as a hobby for myself, why do I put pressure on myself to make certain milestones? I think it's because I enjoy having to put forth the effort. I'm the type of person who works well under pressure and under deadlines. Otherwise, I do tend to procrastinate. And I like holding myself accountable for my time and my choices. Most of the time, I do make my goals like within reason with what I know about my workflow and everything. So it's not like I'm doing it in any way to like push myself to be able to overachieve what my limitations are. Not really like putting more weights on my metaphorical dumbbells. I'm not really trying to improve my efficiency or like the power of my creation brain to like execute these things faster. It's more like I understand how involved these processes are, and if I don't break them up into more manageable parts and have time frames for those manageable parts, like a plan in general, it makes it hard for me to visualize and to organize how I'm going to get all those parts moving together. And you know, I do recognize that being 46 years old, that my time is finite. I can look back on what I've achieved in my decades leading up to where I am now, and I can imagine how much I would be able to maybe achieve in my hopefully decades of ability to keep creating in the future. And I feel like, yeah, time's a ticking if I want to be able to manifest half the ideas that I have in my head and possibly accommodate even more ideas that I'm sure I'm going to have as I continue to experience this existence on the planet. So this is different, I think, than working professionally, in the sense like I'm at a lower rung in this system, that I don't really have like ownership over my time, even if it is my project. If I were to start like selling it or trying to make an income off of it, it would always be, you know, ultimately for somebody else, whether that be for a publisher or for the consumer or for the customer, as opposed to it being something that, you know, I like to share with others, and I hope to be able to share with others, but it's ultimately still something that I'm doing for myself. So that's kind of where I distinguish the difference between doing like leisure activity, hobby activity versus work. Work I think of as being like syphilis, like pushing the stone up the hill. You know, it's a struggle, it's a discipline, it's draining, versus like something that's leisure, that's hobby, is like tending a garden, where people who garden, it takes effort, right? It takes demands on you physically and mentally to take care of a garden. But there's something about that effort that brings you peace, that makes you feel fulfilled, that is enjoyable, and garden, the flowers blooming, the fruit being developing, the greenery, the landscaping, everything that's like beautiful about the result of the gardening is just kind of the icing on the cake. That's how I kind of see the two in my mind. And so you could be doing the same activity and you could be having deadlines that are either self-imposed in both situations or like, under contract or under your publisher or something like that. It could be the exact same time frames. It could be even the exact same material that you're working on. But they're still somewhat diametrically opposed in my mind because it's all about ownership at the end of the day. Do I own my own time and effort? Do I fully own my own time and effort? Or is that something that I am giving up, essentially my power? Giving up my power to others. And I'm not saying that like one is a more worthwhile cause or that, that isn't necessary to like live in a communal society. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying that in my life experience, I guess, of kind of being on both ends, they're two separate things that are not the same, that I can't have at the same time. I can't have my cake and eat it too. I can't tell myself that this is something that is mine and then sell it off to others and meet their expectations and their needs. It's just no longer leisure anymore at that point. It is work. And work is good too. I mean, I personally find that it's easier for me to do creative leisure while keeping that separate from my work, my day job. I have more energy, more creative energy to work on my leisure because it's not my job, versus like if working creatively was my job, then I have less energy, creative energy left over for my leisure. And so for me, it works out better to just have them be completely separate. And that was something that I never understood that I could do when I was younger, because I thought that, I only have so many hours in a day, I only have so much energy in my body, that if I can't work creatively, if I can't do that for my job, then I'll never have enough time and energy to like work creatively at all. It was a very all or nothing kind of mentality that I've come to realize wasn't correct for me. And so I just like to throw that out there, because I think that sometimes those misconceptions are very easy to fall into when you're younger, because not a lot of people like me are usually talking about creative work as leisure. A lot of people are just tending to their own gardens and their own peace and quiet and not really trying to get other people to understand what that's like. And a lot of when I was younger would think, they're just coping. They're especially when it came to like not working professionally as an artist, it was just like, they didn't make it and they didn't have whatever, the grit, they didn't have the discipline, or they didn't have the whatever it is, tenacity, I don't know, the masochism to keep going for whatever reason. And I don't want to be like that. I want to be successful in my creative endeavors, versus now I'm at a point where it's like I don't really feel like I need all that outside validation to say that I'm a creator. It's lovely being able to share my works with others, and I really enjoy that in the same way I think as like a gardener would enjoy inviting people over to enjoy their gardening, the fruits of their labor, so to speak. But it's not what's necessary. I would just keep creating, even if I'm just screaming out to the void. I'm mentally prepared for that, because, I might be making something now that seems to be resonating with a larger audience than any of my work in the past. But I also recognize that's one project, and my next project, you know, by that metric could be a complete flop. And that's very common to happen with creators in general. So yeah, it's not like you ever reach a finish line where now I've accomplished it, now I've made it, now I've gotten the recognition, and now it's all easy coasting from here. It's always going to be flexing a muscle. Like an athlete might make, you know, all their athleticism seem effortless because they've put so much time and practice into it. But every time they need to perform, it's gonna take a lot of effort. It's gonna be, you know, and there's always gonna be that chance that, you know, there's not gonna work out. And that doesn't take away from their work as a whole, or what they've accomplished in the past, or what they could want to do with themselves in the future. It's all, I think, at the end of the day, for me, about carving out that little space within my soul, or my spirit, or whatever you want to call it. You know, that's just for me, that I can grow my little garden. And this month I had some bad weather. It threw me a little bit off, you know, but I kept picking away at it, kept tending at it, because it was something, you know, that you know, I just keep going back to. It's just something that I just enjoy doing. It's just something that I feel like I need to do for myself in order to feel like myself. And I hope I can keep doing this, you know, for as long as I can going forward. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to my old lady rambling. I do hope that everybody can find a little garden of peace and joy in their life, whether it's self-made or not. I feel like we all kind of need that, especially with all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world today. As always, if you're working on something, don't forget to enjoy the process. Have a great week coming up. Can't wait for the spring weather to be in full effect here. And take care. Bye-bye.